They might not be able to help themselves, they might not be able to get over with that trauma bonding, they might not be able to get over with that emotional incest. But if they genuinely love you, they will let you be, they will in some ways protect you. But I mean, if you got into relationship with someone who's just blinded, someone who's ignorant, someone who's having no understanding or realization as to where they are coming from, those folks are never going to prioritize you. Those Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the types of partners narcissistic parents want you to marry. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So these narcissistic parents don't want you to get married to healthy, independent individuals. They want you to get married to toxic, dysfunctional individuals. And that's how the entire cycle is completed. They don't want you to be with a healthy partner. They don't want you to be with someone who validates you, who encourages you, who motivates you, who helps you embrace your authenticity. They want someone dysfunctional with whom you can just spend your life, I mean, have sex, breed, and that's it. I mean, just the basic low level life. They don't want you to have an immersive experience with your partner. They don't want you to engage and bond with your partner the way how healthy individuals do. Yeah, so there are certain kind of individuals that these narcissistic parents want you to marry. Yeah, healthy individuals, independent individuals, regulated individuals, individuals who have healed themselves are like red flag. And that's not what they want, because then you might also go off hook. So a healthy partner might encourage you to follow a healthy lifestyle, and that means to get rid of toxicity, to get rid of dysfunctionality, to work on your own self, and all of this is like a red flag. Yeah, I mean, they did not breed you so that you can have a life of your own. They brought you in this world so that you can serve them. Yeah, and if in any ways your partner is encouraging you to prioritize yourself, that is like a red flag. The priority in every narcissistic family is the narcissistic parents. You cannot prioritize yourself, you cannot prioritize your spouse, you cannot prioritize your children. You have to prioritize your narcissistic parents. And um, their spells actually don't work when you are married to a healthy individual, when you are married to an evolved individual, when you are married to someone who's independent. Yeah, then their spells don't work. Yeah, and in some ways or the other, you know uh, the spells that they cast on their children, that also gets undone. Yeah, and the kids wake up to a different reality, they wake up to different realization, and then they start seeing that I was uh, very badly mistreated, and still I was serving and proving my loyalty to my toxic narcissistic parents. Yeah, so kids do wake up to such reality, such realization, yeah, when they get married to a healthy individual. But if they are married to someone who's toxic, dysfunctional, broken, people pleaser kind of individual, you know there is no end to their misery. Yeah, because you know uh, no one is there to talk things out, no one is there to tell you that please prioritize your own self, no one is there to validate you in a healthy way, no one is there to motivate you. Yeah, toxic dysfunctional individuals are going to keep dragging you down, keep pulling you down. They are going to make your life miserable, just the way how your narcissistic parents have made your life miserable. So there are certain types of partners that these narcissistic parents want you to marry. The first type is the ones that are easily manipulated. Yeah, narcissistic parents prefer partners who can be controlled, ensuring their influence extends into the child's marriage and household. So they want such partner who can be easily manipulated. So just the way they have been manipulating their own children, they want their kids to get married to someone who can be easily manipulated, and that's how they would be, controlling their child, their spouse, and their family. Yeah, so it just goes on, it expands. Yeah, the other type of partner that these narcissistic parents want you to marry is, people pleaser. They seek individuals, who are overly accommodating, making them more likely to comply with the narcissistic parents' demands and expectations. So they want, those people pleaser, individuals. They want those people pleasing, qualities, in your partner. And they will encourage you to get married and get settled with someone who's very docile, someone who's very accommodating, someone who tolerates all kinds of toxicity and abuse under the guise of relationship, culture, family. This is how things are. So they like such individuals, and they will always encourage you to find such individual. And if they are encouraging you to get into a love marriage and select a partner of your own, they will subtly tell you to educate your partner. I mean, they would in a way pressurize you to train your partner into becoming a people pleaser when it comes to your narcissistic parent. Yeah, I mean, I have seen in some of the cases where the partner is very rebellious, they are very evolved, and they can easily identify toxic individuals. These narcissistic parents start manipulating their children. Yeah, and they manipulate their children by telling them that this is not what our culture is, this is not how our family tradition is. I mean, you need to educate her, you need to tell her to honor us, to respect us. And I have seen a lot of individuals suffering, yeah, because of this indirect approach. The narcissistic parents don't want to be labeled as wicked, selfish, and horrible in-laws. Yeah, so they operate indirectly. They start pressurizing their son, their daughter, yeah, to tell you, I mean their spouse, to become more accommodating, to let go, forgive, forget. They are old, they have less time on this planet, just let them be, just listen to them, it isn't hurting you. I mean, it was just words, forget it. Yeah, so they want people pleasers around them. Yeah, and when it comes to their children's spouse, they want their spouse to be a people pleaser. If they see that the spouse doesn't have these qualities, they are going to pressurize their son, their daughter, to tell their spouse, yeah, to uh, take on this role of being a people pleaser. Yeah, pleasing them, yeah, accommodating them, and letting them run all over them, and just tell them that I love you mom, I love you dad, my in-law is the best. Yeah. The other type of partner narcissistic parents want you to marry is dependent individuals, partners who are financially, emotionally, or socially reliant on the family dynamic, allowing the parent to maintain dominance. Someone who's very homely, someone who's dependent on you financially, someone who's emotionally dependent on you, or is socially reliant on family dynamic. Yeah, so those candidates are the right fit. Those candidates are good, yeah, for these narcissistic parents to control. Yeah, and they know that those individuals are going to respect the family tradition. Those individuals are going to sacrifice a lot of things, just because they are married to my son. They are going to shape shift just the way how my son does. And this makes them feel good. Yeah, this gives them a platform to exercise all the control and dominance. I mean, new supply source has come into the scene, so now I can do dirty. The other type of partners narcissistic parents want you to marry is high achievers. So they push their children towards partners with prestigious careers or accomplishments to enhance the parents' social image and bragging rights. I have seen this firsthand. They set their son or daughter out there, to go and select a partner who's, an achiever, who has, good job, lots of money, good position in society. And they do this because they want to bag in all that compliments, all those bragging rights. They want to be seen as such an amazing parent. They raise their son in such a way that, look, the daughter-in-law is so amazing, look, the son-in-law is so amazing. They respect us just the way how our kids respect us. So they feel good. It's like an add-on. It's like a feather in the cap for these narcissistic individuals. I mean, they want society to see, wow, they were so poor, they were so underprivileged, and look, the daughter-in-law is so amazing, the son-in-law is so amazing, the entire family has changed and transformed. And I have seen in cases where they are just there to brag about things. They are just there to use their daughter-in-law or son-in-law financially, brag about things in front of the others, to bag in some compliment, good words. Yeah, so it's all about supply. They genuinely don't care how the daughter-in-law or the son-in-law is feeling in the family. They are just not concerned about it. They are concerned about the image that they are projecting in front of the others. They are concerned about the daughter-in-law's job and money. They are concerned about the son-in-law's job and money. And they are not concerned about how she's feeling in the family, how he's feeling in the family. That's none of their concern. Yeah. So these narcissistic parents groom and train their children to you know uh, get in relationship with high achievers. And then they know their manipulation ability, they know their skills. These narcissistic parents are aware that once the son is married, once the daughter is married, I'm going to convince my son that in order to be one as a family, she needs to change herself, he needs to change himself. Yeah. And then the entire um, shit begins to unfold, and you see decline in the daughter-in-law's career and life, her overall well-being. You'll see decline in the son-in-law's career and life because of all that control, manipulation. Yeah, because they start passing on all the control and manipulation through the son, through the daughter, yeah, onto their spouse. And then shit happens, and with time these relationships become bitter, and people get separated or divorced, and marriages end because of these narcissistic parents. The other type of partners narcissistic parents want you to marry is emotionally unavailable partners. Choosing partners who lack emotional depth ensures the child remains isolated and is easier to manipulate. The child will keep coming back to me. Yeah, the child will not have any other anchorage or support apart from me. Yeah, so they like such partners for their children who are emotionally unavailable. They like toxic, dysfunctional partners for their children. They don't want their children to have a partner that is emotionally available. Yeah, I mean, then my child is not going to come to me for validation and approval and all those crumbs. My child is going to then just be happy with his spouse or her spouse, and that's not what I want. So they will encourage you, they will set you up with partners or individuals who are emotionally unavailable, so that you keep going back to them and not have a life of your own and start a life with your spouse partner. And the last type of partners that these narcissistic parents want you to marry and settle in life with is wealthy or resourceful individuals. These partners provide financial gain or social leverage, which the narcissistic parents can exploit for personal advantage. If someone is rich, wealthy, influential, they are going to bring a lot of things on the table, and all of it can be used by these narcissistic parents, maybe to pay off the debt, clear the loan, present themselves as an amazing parent in front of the others, get some financial gain, a lot of things. They are there to harvest out of that individual, yeah, who's wealthy and resourceful. They you know um, feel good when their children gets in relationship with someone who's wealthy and resourceful. Yeah, I mean, if they are not able to use the daughter-in-law or son-in-law directly, they have their son in place, they have their daughter in place, and they can pressurize their child to get the thing done. They can pressurize the child to extort money out of the spouse. Yeah, so they have their way, they know how to get things done. Yeah, but they need good candidates, they need candidates out of which they can harvest things. They don't like poor people, they don't like uneducated people. They want individuals who are good, who can bring things on the table, but are dysfunctional. Yeah, not healthy, because healthy individuals are going to question, healthy individuals are going to say no, healthy individuals are going to use boundary. And that is something which is going to um, in a way influence their own child, yeah, to walk the same path. And they don't want that. They don't want a healthy spouse of their children to have a bad influence on them. Yeah, healthy spouse of their children is like a red flag for these narcissistic parents. So they want you to be with someone who's dysfunctional, rich, influential, so that there are things to harvest, but in the end you keep coming back to them. Yeah? So in the end, they have their son, they have their daughter, they have their children married to a certain person, and then they are able to harvest out of that person as well. Yeah, so it's all about harvesting supply. I have brought a child in this world, I will harvest things out of him or her, and then I'm going to harvest from the grandchildren, I'm going to harvest things from their spouse, and that's it. And that's how I will keep myself entertained, I'll keep myself busy. Yeah, because I'm not interested in doing the deep dive, I'm not interested in fixing the problems that is inside of me. Yeah, I want a playground where I can do dirty and get away saying, well, I'm your mother after all, I'm your father after all, I'm your in-law, how dare you, I'm your grandfather, how dare you. Yeah, so these narcissistic parents are you can say parasites. And the only way to get rid of them is either by going no contact, or waiting for them to die. And you can never have a relationship with boundaries, or you can never have a kind of a stable relationship with narcissistic parent. They are going to trigger you, they are going to push you, they are going to push you over the edge, they are going to ruin your personal life, they will keep hurting you. Yeah, because they are just like those entitled masters. I have brought you in this world, that's it, I will do whatever I please, and I will treat you however I see fit. Yeah, so things are pretty complicated. And if you somehow get married to someone who's been raised by narcissistic parents and who is still in relationship with their narcissistic parent, things are going to be painful, things are going to be difficult. You need to learn to stand up for yourself, you need to say no to things. Yeah, and if your spouse is also ready to heal, if your spouse is also having some amount of functioning brain, they will let you be, they will respect your privacy and space, they will respect your boundary. Yeah, and I have seen it does work out if the spouse is genuinely in love with you, if the spouse is also in the process of rediscovering himself or herself, if the spouse is in the process of having a lot of realization, and trying to heal his childhood trauma, all those parental wounds, then the child is going to give you space, then that individual is going to let you be. They are not going to force you to mingle with their narcissistic parents. That child, that individual is going to understand your problem, your issue, and they are going to prioritize you. Yeah, they might not be able to help themselves, they might not be able to get over with that trauma bonding, they might not be able to get over with that emotional incest, but if they genuinely love you, they will let you be, they will in some ways protect you. But I mean, if you got into relationship with someone who's just blinded, someone who's ignorant, someone who's having no understanding or realization as to where they are coming from, those folks are never going to, prioritize you. Those folks are never going to respect your boundary and, respect whatever you say. Yeah. So, again, I mean, it depends from case to case. Yeah. I have worked with a lot of individuals, where the partner was understanding, they had a different chemistry with their parent, but they kept their spouse separate. They allowed the, spouse to have her own space. And, they were, somehow, managing their relationship with their parents. Yeah. I have seen that it happens. Yeah. But there are less individuals, who have reached that level. Level and awareness where they truly want to explore and heal and evolve and grow. Yeah. So yes, this was it. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.